Herein begins the trek through the second dungeon of the game, Kanji's bathhouse. I say, on the third episode of the actual dungeon. This is an interesting one, infamous for having likely the hardest boss fight in the game, or at least in the original Persona game. Now, I feel like that's not uncommon. Many would say that the second boss in Persona 5 is also the hardest, and I've tended to stay away from Persona 3 spoilers personally, since I haven't played it myself, but I have heard at least one person say that that's the hardest fight, at least for them. But I don't know what the consensus is, the general consensus. But the actual bathhouse itself, as you saw early on in the first videos, can be pretty brutal, but overall, with normal experience, I've found it immediately to not be an issue, even with hard settings otherwise. I do still like, getting very much punished for the decisions I don't get away with. Now, as you likely heard in the first two episodes of this dungeon, I did this not on stream, but just in a Discord call with a couple of my friends, and I don't know, there was just a lot less stress of dealing with other stuff that way, and I don't know, it was just more homey atmosphere and stuff. But as a result, there's a lot less information being given out, and a lot less that's interesting to show in an episode. So, the rest of this is pretty much going to be sped up. You kind of got the gist of what was going on, and eventually, this guy started playing Catherine on his side and streaming that, and that tends to be more interesting than just going through a dungeon. So with tons of non sequitur and just conversation that had nothing to do with the game, I figured the rest of this should probably just get sped up. And that's really about it. There is, of course, still a little bit that's worth showing, at least story stuff, and that's what you're about to see here. This is pretty much the same sort of encounter with Kanji, or at least a shadow that we got with Yukiko's shadow back in the first palace. So, hopefully, interesting. Alright guys, actual story in my game. Wow.
Okay.
I always forget that happens in these places.
Hey.
Oh, is the first
Yes, the guy is
cutscene?
dating Anna.
Oh,
Sorry, no, I was
thank you for
looked
your
at
undivided
Dan.
attention.
Okay.
At last, I've penetrated the facility. These images are coming to you live from inside this steamy paradise. But I've yet to have any charming encounters. Could this hot fog be the cause?
Hot fog.
It's like steam rising from sweat. My body's tingling with excitement.
This guy needs some neck surgery.
Crap, this is so wrong
And
in
therapy.
so many ways.
I remember it being kind of like this on Yukiko's show, too. No, it wasn't like this. Those voices again. Wait,
Sometimes it's a
are
butt.
they louder this time?
Sometimes it's a bug.
Thanks.
I was wondering whose they could be since it's only the victim in here. Is it the people watching outside?
You mean everybody who's watching the Midnight Channel? They're reacting to the show? Yikes! If people are watching Kanji-kun now, he's gonna be a legend in a way he never intended.
Well, it's really his shadow, not
Or
him.
Kanji.
But normal people won't know that. The shadows are getting really restless.
Yeah, it's tough to start.
That elusive thing I truly yearn for. Will I finally find it here? Well
Wait, so
then,
do we have curly
onward
hair?
and
Does she?
deeper to reach further
guess so.
realms of romance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's get
doesn't
going,
everybody when they're a sheep?
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But he must have his, like, curly, like, hair on top, right?
Kanji-kun.
Or they wouldn't refer to him
That was his
as
other
that.
self.
This is the
Yeah.
funny
Trying to
characteristic.
reveal his hidden feelings. It seems much worse than that time with Yuki-chan's shadow.
Wait,
At this rate,
does he
it
cook
might
the
end
food
up
that the
getting
bar serves
bare
now?
naked.
I don't know.
Naked. Oh man, here it comes.
Aw, I wanted to hear
was
the
I
song
supposed to
again.
laugh?
Wait, you only get kanji at the end of this dungeon, right? You don't.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
okay.
The music though.
Despair pose.
Despair.
Where do the stories come from, Sean?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they come from the beat.
Danganronpa makes the same joke.
Wait,
Despair?
Oh.
Despair.
despair. I think it's at least in the anime.
Oh, boo, 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 boo.
Oh, long-haired sheep's joining in on the technique train.
Dude, another one?
Oh, that thing was walking perfectly in time with the music too. That was impressive.
A rare monster.
Damn, this is
Beat
still
the
a hard
stuffing out
mode.
of it.
What?
I think he turned on like high experience just so he could like catch up to what the game was demanding of him.
Okay.
It's on regular experience right now.
Okay.
I beat a single gold hand and went from level 10 to level 15, and I'm like, alright, I should probably be on regular experience.
Yeah.
That's it. These guys need to die. So the voices you heard in that non-sped up section, and also in the previous episodes at least a little bit, are Sky. It's the one who's been around since the beginning of episode 42. Raichu is the one who shows up in episode 43, and I Watch LPs is the final voice that you got to hear, appearing initially in the previous episode, episode 43, towards the very, very end. And yeah, episode after this will be once I start making progress, and you'll see a lot more stuff going on from that point on.